Hello, everybody. Yeah, I took a bit of a break, but now I'm back into it. And this time, I'm going to be playing The Guardian Legend, as if the title screen did not give it away. It's a 1988 hybrid game by Compile, not Compile Heart. Those are two very different companies. And it's a hybrid shmup and overworld exploration game. Oh yeah, here's the story. Yeah, I know it doesn't quite reach the sublime brilliance of the plot of Holy Diver, but we make do with what we got in the 80s. Now that you have had time to read that, it's time to begin. Okay. We begin with a shooting stage, one of the two types of areas. Oh, Jesus. Sorry for the glitch. I have no... That's a recording fault, I'm sure. Well, there's some things interesting about the background in the first shooting section, in that it's... As it appears, it's actually impossible for the NES to render, so there were some tricks involved in actually creating the background that I don't know exactly what they are. But this is our most basic characters so far. No special weapons, no power-ups, just 4 shots on the screen at once. Those blue things are not power-ups, they will kill you. And the first stage is actually kind of odd in that it's very easy to die if you don't know the ins and outs of what you're going to be running into. Especially against the first boss, because it's going to throw a lot of crap at you. It works like most common shooter bosses in that the more you destroy, the more intense the stuff that gets thrown your way is. Well, somebody diagrammed that sentence. The only real thing that saves you is that the enemy shots are destructible and so can give you power-ups. Basically, every certain amount of explodable thing you blow up that leaves a power-up box with a random power-up. And pretty much any power-up in this game also gives at least a bit of health. But now that's done with, so let's have a backstory. Yeah, the thing that the opening crawl did not mention is that this big-ass world ship is heading right towards Earth. So we need to go in there and blow the hell out of it. The corridors are the shooting stages of this game. And, by the way, this is the humanoid form of our character, the Guardian of Earth. She may look like she's wearing a bikini, but she's not. Something changed, apparently, in between the initial art direction and when the game was actually developed. The Japanese manual uses the initial art. But things changed, I guess. Overworld exploration games. Ooh, that power-up increases our fire rate. Tend not to be the strong point of the original Compile company. Oh yeah, that's just the password room. I won't be using passwords. Forget that. And we use chips to buy things. Now, power chips also power special weapons. They're the special weapon ammunition. And the first weapon we got was the wave gun. Now let me see if I can find the select key. There we go! Don't worry, the map will be much bigger by the time we're done. But first, we need chips. Thank you. It's slightly powerful, but as you power up this weapon, it also gains the ability to destroy enemy shots. The thing about special weapons is that if you don't plan to actually use one, it's actually better to unequip any special weapons, because having a special equipped will actually reduce the maximum number of shots you can have on the screen. From 4 to 3 and even all the way down to 2. Now, all of the mandatory corridors you have to do for this game are sealed, so you need to find computer rooms that have hints on how to open them up. Now, Compile is not normally known for this kind of top-down adventure game. They're actually mainly known for the Puyo Puyo franchise and their other pure shooters like the Alesti series, which was brought over here under various names like Space Megaforce or Musha, and other shooters like the Xanax series. Their last game was Xanax X Xanax for the PlayStation 1. And here is our saber. It has a flicker effect, so its full length may not actually show in the video. It's actually more useful than you might think it is, as I will be demonstrating later. Now here's our first overland boss. So long as you get out before the barriers fully form, you can evade it, but it's best to just destroy all of them when you can, because they leave goodies. Exploration is mandatory in this game. The Area Zero Overland bosses are pretty weak sauce. Destroying that one gave us the round barrier. Yeah, the game also lets you know in the special equip scene how many chips that a special weapon will use per second of firing. It's not per shot, it's per second. It's just that some special weapons have such a slow rate of fire that sometimes it can seem like it's per shot. Now that room told us about how to get to other areas of the world ship. This room will not become important until much, much later. Now, our primary defense is a shield, and the shield actually deals damage to enemies based on our attack power, which you raise through finding attack power items. And that just told us how to open up special boxes, as it were, but we've been doing that already. Okay, that was the Red Lander. The Blue Lander is actually Compile's mascot, especially in its shooter games. It was the extra life item in Xanax, and it also showed up in Compile's other top-down adventure game, Golvelius, which was originally for the MSX and got ported to the Master System. Now that we have 100 chips, thanks to grabbing the Red Lander, which increases the chip maximum, we can buy another weapon. Special weapons can be powered up by collecting multiples of the same sort of special weapon. And the Blue Lander, also got a couple of its own RPG side games for the MSX called Randar Quest or something like that. The Red Landers in this game increase your chip maximum, while the Blue Landers increase your life maximum. You can also increase your life maximum by hitting certain point thresholds. One of the glitches in this game is that if you actually manage to max out your score, you will completely crash the game and won't be able to do any more playing. I've been here before. But there's still more to find around here. Oh yeah, we won't be buying this stuff until a while. There are a ton of special weapons in this game, some of which are much better in shooting stages, and one that can only be used in shooting stages. While others are better on the overland. By the way, some of you may have noticed that my shot type is different at 100 chips. Well, at certain chip thresholds... Oh, showing off this weapon. That's a homing shot. It will be essential to defeating one of the later overland bosses. Well, I was saying, at certain thresholds of chips, your main shot actually becomes wider. Not more powerful, just wider. Easier to hit things. Well, I guess there isn't that much more. All exploration areas have 2 overland mini-boss sort of things. And we don't have to worry too much about the ones around here. No problems. And that's pretty much everything we can find in the main Overland hub. I was just poking around to be absolutely sure of that sort of thing. Don't want to leave any power-ups behind. There is another pretty interesting glitch in this game that I'm probably going to get to show you in the next video. It involves how item detection works with diagonals in this game, and it's pretty hilarious. Yeah, you're all doomed. Why can't we go anywhere nice for a change? You know, and not have it blown up. Because all of that is done with, we can at least complete the shooting stage in this area too. The way I'll do it is exploration and all the overland exploration and then all of the shooting. Now you can tell this is a mandatory corridor because of the diagrams at the corners of the entrance, plus the fact we had to do something special to open up the gate. Water, water everywhere, and we do not need a gravity suit. The world ship is basically a giant zoo, or was initially constructed as one, because there are all these different habitat areas. The next two major habitat areas we will be entering are water-themed, or something like that. At least the shooting stages. I actually really like this game, but I think its worst failing is the fact that it still relies on a password system. And a fairly lengthy one, too. But thankfully, these days there are ways around that sort of thing. The first shooting stages aren't generally that bad, but some of the later ones will be downright hellish. The Guardian Legend has an odd difficulty curve that's almost like a difficulty stock chart. There are some later bosses that are trivially easy, and some bosses around the mid-game that are insanely difficult. I may actually have to cue up the failure music again like I did with Lagoon. Yeah, anything that can explode can give power-ups, whether it's shots, enemies, or whatever. And there's actually an interesting glitch with that I'm going to be showing off later, but it can only happen in conjunction with a certain weapon that I don't actually have yet. Oh yeah, one of the interesting bits about the manual for this game is that they're a bit shy about talking about the character's gender, whereas the Japanese text was not. Oh yeah, this boss is basically here to teach you that the saber is useful. Hey, watch this. Done. And this will open up the next two exploration areas. And every time you beat a corridor boss, they also cough up a power-up. I'll be showing that off next time. Until then, this is R-Typer, and I will be seeing you next video. Goodbye!